It is my belief that we live in a culture that does not understand how to handle the emotions that we consider to be negative. We are not educated in the art of emotional alchemy, and rage is one of the most taboo for a woman because you don't want to be a raging bitch. And you're nice, and you're nice, and you're nice until you're a raging bitch. I don't believe there are any women out there that are not angry. If there are, there's like 5 of them. So like, if you think you're not an angry woman, imagine your leg being asleep. And then there's this second phase that happens where the leg starts to wake up, and it hurts. And you can't use it. That's the anger that's like kind of destructive and messy, and if you walk on it, you'll fall over. It's a disaster, right? But that's just the second phase of rage. If your foot was in that state, would you go, oh no, I gotta put it back to sleep? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. But that's exactly what we do with anger. Like, we don't really feel it. It makes us sleepy, listless. We don't know what we're doing with our lives. Everything's tired. It's kind of all over the place. And then we get angry, and we're like, oh, this doesn't feel good. I can't. This is useless. This is destructive. I can't do anything with it. There's a third phase. There's a third phase that's exactly like the foot coming fully awake. Anger leads. You do not get angry over things you do not care about. So there's a moment, there's an alchemical moment in anger where you stop seeing the thing you're fighting against and you start seeing the thing you're fighting for. And in that, anger becomes passion, becomes clarity, becomes commitment, becomes a greater vision. And even with movements like Me Too, people get stuck at I'm fighting against the predator. What predator? The predator needs help too. What's the vision behind that? What's the greater thing we're all aiming for? And that's the place where we stop. So sadness, depression, anxiety, anger, we stop at the middle phase. And there is a method that many of you who are meditators of detachment through observation. It's a wonderful way to roll. But to embody and fully go through and get to the other side means that we don't need to take 17 deep breaths every time we read about another sexual predator with his 640 young raped girls. I'm going to find my center. I'm going to find my center. No, we let ourselves give a until we can get over this phase and get to a place where we're like, okay, the bigger vision includes everything from healing the girls, to healing the predator, to healing the system that makes both possible. And then all of a sudden, all of that anger, all of that rage exists for a reason. And if it's a small frustration, if it's a big frustration, it's the same. We don't get worked up over things we don't care about. We don't feel resistance when there isn't something precious inside of us to protect. And I think that like the lack of emotional education, and this especially affects women because we have been allowed to have this internal space, but we haven't been taught what to do with it.